Hello everyone, welcome to the video series on Introduction to Machine Learning with Scikit-learn. This is chapter 4 part 2. In this chapter we are talking about some of the prerequisites that you need to understand before you can start your journey with Python and machine learning. Now in the first part of the chapter 4 we have talked about NumPy. I will highly recommend you to understand NumPy before starting ahead because NumPy is the building block of any machine learning thing that you are gonna do in Python, whether scikit-learn or otherwise. In this chapter, we will talk about how to visualize the data. Now, you know that for doing any data science and machine learning related work, we need to visualize the data. We need visualization to understand the data. Our eyes are good with visualized data. So in this particular video, we will talk about something called matplotlib.pyplot. It's a library from matplotlib which helps us in visualizing the data. Let's see how. So first and foremost, we need to import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. We will also import NumPy because we want to generate some data, and it could also be a refresher course for NumPy. Okay, now most often than not, we start with plotting data on a x and y axis. Let's see how we can do that. So let me create a two NumPy array called x and y. Here you can see that I have used NumPy array function to create two NumPy arrays. X represent x axis, y represent y axis. If I just want to plot this x and y, I can just call a function called plot and pass x and y, and you can see that x and y plot is being plotted over here, and these are, I'm sorry about these colors, but these are the numbers 0, 10, 20 till 80, and this is till 100. Okay, now this is the default plotting, but matplotlib.pyplot provides lots and lots of customized plotting. Let's see how. I can also specify the color in which I want this line to appear. In here it is appearing in blue by default. I can say appear in red, or I can say appear in green. Okay, good thing about is that I can also give R in a short form for red, G in a short form for green, and B in a short form for blue. Now this is about line, but we can also use colored symbols to represent data points because it's very difficult to understand that first data point is here, second data point is here. So what we can do is that I will say that mark the data points with plus in red color. You can see that red color plus is there wherever these data points are present. If I change the color red to blue, it will be blue color plus sign. Similarly, I can say instead of plus, give me star. You can see that G star refer green star. We can see the green star over here. Similarly, I can say blue of circle. O represents circle. This is O, not 0. You can see circle of blue color. If I just say arrow, I'll get a circle of red color. Okay. Similarly, I can get a triangle using this cap symbol. You can see that I am getting a triangle, and I can also get a dotted line notation by using hyphen hyphen, red color dotted line notation. Okay. Now most of the time we would like to use data points like this. It says that circle and dotted line, wherever data points are there, mark there as a circle and connect everything with the data points. Till now I believe this is the best way to represent the data which I am having right now. Okay, and instead of this circle, we can also say use triangles of a different color. By default it is blue, you can use some different color. Now we know what is meant by x-axis and y-axis, but it's good to set the labels. So we can actually set the labels using function called x-label and y-label, and if we plot, you can see that the x-axis is here and y-axis is here. I'm extremely sorry about the background color, but this is what it looks like right now. Now this was all about setting x-axis and y-axis. Let's talk about setting axis values. When I'm saying axis value, it means that, you know, if I provide x and y, the max of x will be taken and max of y will be taken. But I want to set the axis value in a different way. So I can say plot the axis with x mean x max, y mean y max, which means that x should be 0 to 200, y should be 0 to 300, and if I go ahead and plot it, you can see that x is 0 to 200, y is 0 to 300. That's why now my graph is looking very small. Okay, I can also display multiple xy lines simultaneously. Let me create a new line called x1 and y1, and I can just use plot to plot these two in a same graph so that I can actually compare. It's one of the very useful feature. Okay, or I can just use single plot function by passing both xy and x1 y1. Not only that, we can actually provide different style to different lines. Okay, I can say that okay, red dotted line is what I want for xy, and green circle is what I want for x1 and y1. Okay, now in Jupyter Notebook Python 3.7, we do not need to use this something called matplotlib inline. In earlier versions we need to use that, otherwise these graphs would not be displayed. If by any chance you are using some of the earlier version, make sure that this is the first line at the top, then these graphs will be visible, but in all latest download this is not required. Okay, now the last thing which I want to talk about is that you can give more than 2 lines also in one go. Let me create another xy value called x2 y2, and I am using the single plot function to plot 3 x and y values. So if I go ahead and see, you can see that x and y is red dotted line, x1 y1 is green circle, x2 y2 is blue dotted line. Okay, so that's all about the prerequisite of using matplotlib pyplot. This is good enough for us to go ahead and start our journey with machine learning in Python programming language, but this is by no way complete. This is the bare minimum that is required for us to visualize our data. It is a library of big number of APIs, and maybe I'll create a separate tutorial especially for this particular topic at some later point of time. Now we have covered the prerequisites. In the next chapter we will talk about the hello world dataset from scikit-learn. Thanks a lot guys. Thanks for watching. Please do not forget to tune in to next video. Thank you. Thanks a lot.